So today we are having a very candid conversation with athletes and artists who want to make sure that you use your voice to vote. Voting is your voice. So we have so many different issues that have happened in this country. It's really, truly unprecedented time. So I'm looking forward to these
Vou
conversations.
esperar
I think
por.
you'll be educated as well as entertained, but most importantly informed. We have morethanavote.org, whenweallvote.org, and fairfight.com. Those resources are
Me dá dinheiro
imperative
pra colocar
as
no
we
box no
try to change
Fortnite.
our future.
This is America. Don't touch living on. Hollywood tripping on.
There's no way that we can talk about hip hop or even the fact that we want to talk about activism, black voter suppression, without bringing in this guy straight from Fortnite, Texas. We were talking about Bumby. He is
Que vocês estão falando?
a scholar and an all-around gentleman. Thank you so much for spending some time with us. Bun, I don't want to start heavy, but I guess I have to because that's where we are in the world today. It's heavy as hell. And when you think about what needs to happen in this country in terms of change, what's the first thing that you think of?
Equality. That's pretty much the first thing that comes to mind, right? Black people need to be seen as equals in this world. You know, we had to fight just to be recognized as a full citizen in this country and not.
Eu disse que ia ter legenda.
We've known for so long in the culture and in the community. The one way that we can fight is obviously voting. Talk to me about what voting means to you.
I hear people all the time talking about one vote doesn't matter and that voting doesn't make a difference. If that's true, why do they work so hard to suppress the black vote?
Embaixo da
Because they understand
tela.
the power of the vote. And so it's time that black people collectively also understand the power of their vote. And not just on a national level, because a lot of times we only have this conversation every 4 years. People need to be very much involved in their local politics. They need to understand who their elected officials are, where they stand on issues that affect you. And you need to use your vote to either support the ones that care about your condition or to elect people who do. A newer initiative that we're dealing with is educating felons, right? So in the state of Texas, if you're a felon, right, if you've been to jail or to prison, but you're no longer on probation or parole, you have the right to register to vote. Another thing that was just brought to my attention, there's an initiative called Orange, which is happening not just in Houston, but all over the country. If you're in jail currently during pretrial, but you have not been convicted, like you're still in jail waiting for your day in court, you are still eligible to vote.
And you said something so key. They work so hard to hope that we stay uninformed, but more importantly, to suppress the black vote. If you could do one thing with this message that we're trying to send today about how important voting is, what type of images would you like for people to understand and see when they go?
Peraí, vamos assistir de ângulo melhor. Vamos assistir de ângulo melhor.
I think the images that we've all seen, you know what I'm saying, for decades in this country, if not centuries in this country, we've seen black people oppressed, we've seen black people attacked. So every time you look back and you see those old black and white images of people of color being attacked by dogs and people of color being sprayed with hoses, that's what they were fighting for. Back then, they were just...
What? Acabou, foi isso?
Have controls over our lives. So, I mean, if you...
Mano, lagou.
Police are not open to issues concerning economic equality, judicial equality, and racial equality, right? If they're scared to say Black Lives Matter, you have the power to put people in those positions who do believe that Black Lives Matter, who do believe in racial equality, economic equality, judicial equality, right? Who see us as human beings. And if the people in your community don't feel that way, vote them out. It's that simple. You just vote them out. We don't have enough time to sit around and hope that people change their minds.
Yeah, Bumby, you point out something so important. We have the power. And that is in our vote, and that is with our voice.
Não tem sentido matar ele. Por causa de uma nota falsa.
This is a particular moment, but it is a movement. Not just a moment, it is a movement. Why, in your opinion, was it
George Floyd
death? Why was that the chosen brutality for people to say, oh my God, black people are still oppressing us?
Isso não é justo.
In so many different encounters between people of color and the police, there simply is no proof of what happened in the interaction. And so what happens is in a court of law, it tends to lean towards the policeman's point of view. right? In this case, we saw very clearly what happened. I think the other thing is due to the fact that everyone was at home, basically during this time period in relation to the coronavirus, you couldn't avoid it, right? It was on
Coronavirus.
every television station, it was on every social media platform. Everywhere you turn, you were constantly hit upside the head with this message. You see in the interaction that this man did nothing to deserve what happened.
That's right. I think so well said, because if you think about it, in the grand scheme of things, it wasn't worth it, and he didn't have
Sim.
to lose his life. I think that we touched on something that a lot of people talk about, and that is now defunding the police. That has been such a huge conversation, but there's so many misconceptions around defunding and dismantling. If you will, educate the audience.
All right, so most people, when they hear the term defund the police, they tend to think of, oh, they're going to take away our police department. Nothing could be further from the point. Defunding the police means that in certain communities, even Houston, take for example, we had over $1 billion allocated to our police force. Now, what is that money being used for? Some of that money tends to be allocated towards riot shields, right?
Eu
Pepper spray,
também.
right? That kind of thing. That's only used against the people that fund this
Né?
budget, right? So why would the people want to supply the police with the means to oppress them? If the police are concerned about the situation in certain communities with a higher crime rate,
Leão
well,
Albino.
higher crime rates tend to happen in communities where there's not there's not employment opportunities, right? There's not a lot of social services, and people are going to do what they need to do to take care of themselves and their families. When the community has more opportunities for employment, more opportunities for upward mobility, then they tend to be a less of a strain on the government. They tend to have a lower crime rate, and because of that, we'll have less need for the police in those communities.
You are passionate about so many different things in terms of making sure that we are holding our leaders accountable. Talk to me about some of the other projects that you're working on.
Well, right now, obviously, being a part of More Than a Vote is essential. We're dealing with primaries in this country right now, and we just want to educate people. We want to inform people because people are tired, they're angry, they're concerned, and they want information and they want action. And
Agora
so
com
we want to make sure
agora
that we give them the right
com
information and lead them in the right direction. And we thank the people that do not look like us for standing with us right now.
Ah,
Because
mano,
it's
vai
very
se
important that people who aren't black be involved, because if black people could have gotten rid of racism, we would have done it hundreds of years ago. And so I'm trying to use my voice and my platform just to let people know that if they feel like I do, there's a number of places they can go to enact change in their community. People need to know about how their city council runs. They need to know that they have the ability to speak when city council meets, to let them know that that's not the way that they feel their city needs to be run. Those are not the places that they feel the money of their community needs to be allocated.
But being even a step further, they can run for office in their local community. They can run for positions. Like, people act like they leave it for somebody else. If you're upset, it's not
Não,
hard to it's
mamute.
not hard to be a part of the city council. It really isn't. And depending on how small your town is, you could be a mayor. It's the power is with the people, and we need to just know that
É
that's happening.
verdade.
Absolutely, and it's always been with the
Peraí,
people.
eu
You know,
tenho que
if you look
representar
at
mais os
Trayvon
negão.
Martin's mother, Sabrina Fulton, right? She felt that there was a system of racism and a system of oppression that led to her son's
Ah, cala
death.
você, eu
And so
sou
what did
negro.
she do? She
Mentira.
ran for city council and she was
Eu
elected
sou
city
quase.
council. Our
Eu
own
não sou.
former president.
O evento bugou. O evento bugou. Cara, o evento bugou. Ah, é porque não vai deixar nós ver as palestras do negão.
It's at home, you know. So as long as you
É,
have a
voltou.
support system that believes in what you're doing and supports you in what you're doing, you have everything you need to go out there and fight the good fight. And for those that don't, there's a community of people here to help you. So you can go to places like morethanavote.org. There are many different places that will encourage you, inform you, and they will put you with groups of people that feel like you, that are ready to take action.
Ouve,
So
eu não
no
tô
one
com
has to
só,
go
eu não
out
tô com sua
alone if they
orelha.
want to do it.
We're stronger together. People have been saying it, but that has much more meaning now that we are in our movement, not just this moment. Rumby, it has been an education, always a pleasure. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Keep fighting.
Keep up the good fight.
Os negão. Black Lives Matter.
So our next guest, I have to admit, I'm a fan, but there are so many different people that we could talk to, and I thought it was so imperative that we speak with her. You know her as Molly on the huge, successful show Insecure, HBO's Insecure. She also has a comedy special highlighting her Nigerian roots, and she's an amazing podcaster. Let's welcome in Yvonne Orji, everyone. You have such a beautiful way of making things funny, giving us our medicine with some candy, right? The humor and the healing. You bring all of that to your space. And right now, as you look across this country and how everyone is so broken and so upset, if it's not social injustice, it's the pandemic, it's depression, it's unemployment, the list goes on and on. How are you doing, quite frankly?
You know, I'm rediscovering self in a way that is hard but necessary, that will lead to ultimate joy. I know it sounds like a lot, but no, I think I personally think that God put all of us on a global timeout. Like we just, America hasn't done as good as other people when it comes to timeouts, because everyone else is out playing at recess, and we're still in the principal's office hoping and wishing we can come out. But I think that if we settle into the timeout and really learn the lesson that we're supposed to learn from this season, I think we'll emerge better. We'll learn how to play well with others in more ways than one. And so personally for me, I'm taking this time to learn me in a new way. I feel like I'm being ushered into a new season, and I'm getting still.
Ah
Because
ha ha
sometimes the
ha ha
busy
ha ha.
uh, confounds the work that we're supposed to actually be doing. We're busy doing other stuff, but we got work that we need to do on the inside. And I'm leaning into it. I'm like, dang, I thought I was gonna be able to rest like everybody else. And this guy's like, nah, we got work to do.
You know what? And I think that's what everybody is saying about 2020. It's demanding that we be better. And you said it's a global timeout. What do you mean by that?
Yeah, it's like everyone sit down, be humble, to quote the great prophet Kendrick Lamar. But like, no, seriously, sit down and let's reevaluate some things. Let us
Até
unearth and shake up the things that we have been
mostra
trying
o
to hide
Ribamar.
within ourselves, within our nation. I think America is going through an unraveling right now, a much needed, a much
Ele
necessary one,
saiu
and
do
I
Na
think
United.
all eyes on us, right? There is no, oh, I was on the subway for an hour, so I didn't miss that thing that happened. No,
Ele
everybody was
saiu do
home.
Na United.
Everybody, was watching when.
O Lamar saiu do Na United.
Globally, it's like, hey,
Não.
comfortable with the uncomfortable.
To minorities, we've been comfortable with being uncomfortable because that to me explains just the existence for whatever we want to do, how we break into our careers, how we live our lives, how we find ourselves one of the few or one of the first. And that's a lonely road. When you look at and when you talk about
A porca do cara nunca acaba.
It's like these labels that they put on us. It's like the same way of saying like black on black.
Charlotte, ela todo mês ela posta no Instagram uma frase pra motivar as pessoas da pele negra.
Você não é negro. Sai daqui.
Sai daqui, você não é negro.
Sai daqui, João Vitor. Você não é negro.
Eu não vou perder pra vocês não, vocês não estão me segurando na tirolesa. É tranquilo, João, é tranquilo na tirolesa. É tranquilo na tirolesa, ó, pô. Caramba, você não vai perder, ó. Caramba.
Eu nunca vou morrer aqui. Eu sou mal bugado, velho. Vem, vem.
Tirolesa, velho.
Vem.
Beyblade da tirolesa.
Pá. Berabal.
Ô, mãe,
Pau.
tá dando uma palestra dessas bonecões aqui. Eu acho. Vou colocar as respostas, né? Beleza, as respostas.
Pá. Eu ganhei do Fep. Vem, Fep. Vem. Meu Deus, não. Ah, velho. What the fuck, bro, man? Da hora que o negócio acabou, né? O negócio acabou, foi só isso? É sério? Ah, eu vou ver o do Diplo porque as músicas que ele faz é muito top. Pá. Pá. Pá.
Só que não é gay, velho.
Quê?
Tá vendo? Tá vendo, João Vitor?
A mãe
Tá vendo aqui?
O quê?
A mina ela.
Tô.
Tá bom. Beyblade aqui, velho.
Ah, mano.
Beyblade Larry Weaver.
Que pro...
Vocês já assistiram Beyblade Metal War?
Sim. O Jinka Hagani.
Que o personagem principal é o Jinka.
Sim, sim. Daí tem o Storm Pegasus.
É muito bom.
Tem o Storm Pegasus.
Eu já ouvi, você não vai acreditar. A Cartoon Network quer fazer. Oh, não. Eles querem fazer Naruto, Mutant Rex, Johnny Test, Boku no Hero.
Ah, não. Boku no Hero não tem como. Eu venci. Eu matei o Miyamoto rapidão. Boku no Pico.
Boku no Pico. E a cabeça de ferro, João Vitor? Cabeça de ferro, João Vitor. Cabeça de ferro.
João Vitor, você sabe como que não cai nesse negócio? É, o meu é quadrado, mas de boa. Ah!
Tô falando, seu vagabundo. Suas vagabundas arregadas.
Vitor nunca consegue morrer aqui, velho.
Entre pula no Beyblade enquanto se achou. Beyblade, só Beyblade, isso é legal.
Blade, Mary, Blade. Isso aí, vai no drip. Blade, Mary, drip. É isso aí, vai no drip.
E uma coisa pra você achar que fora da Ferraris. Henrique, por que você deu fora no DJ?
Porque ele é um merda.
Ô, João Vitor. Para aqui de propósito.
O João Vitor no pico morreu. João Vitor no pico. Ah não, o João Vitor morreu no pico.
Ele morreu no pico, vai ganhar. Tá no pico, ganha.
No Inig brabão.
Henrique morreu no pico.
Ô, ainda tá passando filme pro 6 ou não?
Tá aparecendo mulher pelada.
Ah tá.
Tá aparecendo. A mulher pelada tá aparecendo pra vocês? Não tem caso. Se tivesse que andar, aconteceu um monte de coisa. Mas você morreu no pico, velho.
O João Vitor morreu no pico.
Aí tirando os carros, todas as coisas de zoeira, o povo prestar atenção no negócio. O povo brincando
Pão com bolo é arroz e feijão. Ô, é sério que o Arthur começou a jogar LOL? Ah não, velho, ele foi corrompido pelos viados. Se achando que se matou agora. Eu vou acabar.
João Vitor, o Henrique só vai dar um presente pra você. Pronto.
Ô, coloca uma skin que eu obviamente nunca vou ter na vida. Não, coloca sério, uma que não seja feia, uma que seja muito linda. E que eu, não. Ó, mas tem feminina no Ah, também tem a do ancestral. Ó, essa aqui é da 9 e o Felipe tem. Dúvida se acertar, Felipe, é feminina. Uhum. É linda demais, velho. Não é a Rox, é outra. Não, eu duvido se acertou. Ai, acertou. Cara, essa skin é muito linda, velho. Não tem o que falar. Ah, vou ter que encerrar com a live por causa da conexão que tá ruim.
Porque começou, tá ligado?
Não era pra ver o evento.
É, todo mundo assistiu o seu live.
É, tem um cara pelo menos.
Algum dia o único cara que achou isso.
Vou encerrar com a live por causa da conexão que tá ruim.
Porque começou, tá ligado?
Não era pra ver o evento.
É, todo mundo assistiu o seu live.
É, tem um cara pelo menos.
Algum dia o único cara que achou o Henrique da hora.
Nicolieves.
Você gosta de me odeia. Sim.
Ô, João Vitor, coloca uma skin que você sabe que eu amo, eu acho muito linda e é feminina.
É masculina, na verdade, né?
Que pá! Velho. É da temporada 10, velho. Você tem. Acertou. Acertou. Ô, João Vitor, coloca outro estilo. Oh, mas dá pra ele pegar os outros estilos agora. Que top.